welcome back to our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode series, and today then we've got our engine suppliers home race, the French Grand Prix. There's a few weeks until that, so got plenty to do until then, including hopefully getting a new aero upgrade on, which sadly we have not done there. It has failed yet again. We're really not having much luck at all so far in terms of getting these upgrades on the first time, and we're really having to spend too many resource points here to getting them through. And yeah, well, we should at least still get it on for the next race, but as well as this chassis upgrade as well then, which failed last time. So we've got that, and we have also got an event now then before we finally get this aero upgrade. And Lucas Weber is back. I think we last saw him on F1 2019, but he's back now then, and we are gonna book him in then to improve our second driver racecraft there. We're also going to get another chassis upgrade on the car now then, as we've got that other one through now, and we are also going to upgrade our factory again then to generate some more resource points, because we're certainly burning through them, having to redo all of these upgrades. And fast forward in time now then, we did get that aero upgrade on, and we have got, just that chassis factory upgrade as well then. And we are now then at the 5th round of the season, the French Grand Prix. These are the upgrades that we've got pending then. That still waiting for that durability upgrade, and then of course we got that chassis upgrade that we've just selected there. And it's looking like it's getting very close up in the midfield at the moment then. Ferrari look to have moved to the top of that. They're also closing on Red Bull at the moment for second, and Alfa Romeo have really joined in on that as well then. I'd say it's a 3-team scrap now then at the bottom, with Alfa Romeo very much now in the midfield. And we really need to start getting some of these upgrades on first time, because Haas are catching us there. And they didn't send me an email about the weather forecast, but I was looking here in practice, and it's looking like race day then is going to be a very wet one then, starting wet, going dry in the middle, but then another shower later on in the race. So that's going to be very interesting then to see how that one plays out. Practice went quite well for us then, got 500 resource points there, just for me, and then another 100 for Lungard, and we gained some development boosts as well there as well. So we'll look to hopefully get one of those on the car then quite soon. And some more acclaim boost as well then, so that is going to move us up then to level 8 I think in the team acclaim, and indeed it does. Level 10 then is when we can get our next sponsor, so we're closing on that then very quickly, and we're now going to get one of those discounted engine upgrades now then, because we are near the bottom in that chart. But it's all very close though, to be fair though, with the engines at the moment. But I mean, if we can get a good upgrade on here, then we could be right near the front in that respect. Speaking of engines though, we are going to be moving over to most of our second parts now then, because the first parts are getting quite worn already. Obviously just 16 races this season, but still I think it's going to be quite tough for us to get through a season here without taking some upgrades some penalties I should say, later down the line, as we head now then into qualifying for the French Grand Prix here at the Paul Ricard circuit. And we'll see then what we can do here then. As I said, obviously we're a Renault car here, and obviously we're here in France then for their home race, so obviously we want to do quite well here then, and really be leading that I guess the back marker fight then down at the bottom of the standings. We'll see what we can do then as we come towards the end of our first run here then in Q1, and opening DRS now then, and to the line we'll see what we can do. And it is a 1:29.8, which puts us sadly then behind Schumacher and Russell there. And we're down to 20th at the moment then, heading out for our second run. But you can see the clouds have really come in here then after only a few minutes, and it is already then starting to rain. So we really need to hope it doesn't get too bad on this lap, because we need to get this lap in then to have any chance of improving our grid position here. Only down in 20th at the moment, and we're still just about hanging on to the lap here, but we've taken a bit of a bad line there into that left-hander, which I always struggle to get right even in the best of conditions. But really wasn't sure of how much grip I would have there, and it didn't take the best line. We're still trying to hang on to this lap, but traction isn't too great then out of the final corner. Track's starting to get a little bit slippery there, and sadly then we're not going to improve on our lap time, and it looks like that is how things are going to stay then. And indeed then it is, we'll be 20th on the grid, Lungard 18th, so it could have been worse. At least we're ahead of some cars, but that is still a bit disappointing then. And disappointing again for me then to see Mick Schumacher there up in front of me in 17th. And not surprised I'd see that the two Alfa Romeos both made it through then into Q2. As I said, they're very much part of the midfield, I think. But yeah, as I said, this is just another loss then to Mick Schumacher here then in our rivalry. It is 13-8 to him at the moment, so we really need to get a result here then to claw that back a bit. And yeah, we've at least gained some good acclaim then for the drivers and the team there, so that's looking very good at the moment. And yeah, we're now back then in the motorhome, where we can now finally see then the forecast. They finally emailed it to us, and yeah, it's looking like could be a wet start here then. And yeah, as I said, dry in the middle, and then it looks like another shower later on in the race, so that is going to be very interesting then. We'll see what happens as we head into the French Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome to the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. It's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. And let's hope we see more of those in the race today. We have 15 corners here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, 6 to the left and 9 to the right. The rain is coming down and making for a slippery racing surface, but luckily there is plenty of runoff available, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid bringing out a safety car during today's Grand Prix. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. And Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and talented Spaniard Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Norris, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Christian Lundgaard and George Russell, Ace, Latifi, Raikkonen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Nikita Mazepin. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
A very mixed up grid here then by the looks of things. As well as that, it looks like Kimi Raikkonen's had a gearbox penalty there, so that's put him down to the back row of the grid, and let's move us up a place. And we are then indeed starting on the intermediate tyres here, and yeah, they're saying it's going to be a pit stop at half distance, but I think there's a good chance we'll be in earlier than that to go over to dry tyres, judging by the forecast. We're going to under fuel by a couple of laps then. I think we'll be saving quite a bit of fuel in the wet conditions, so yeah, I think that shouldn't really be an issue for us there then. As we come round then to the grid conditions, then it's looking very much like Inter's. I guess like probably not a million miles away from the dry tyres then, depending on how quickly this weather goes away, but I think it's very much Inter's end. We're nowhere near wet conditions here. It doesn't look that bad, to be honest. Then we'll see what we can do as we line up then on the grid. Bumped up to 19th place already then, and here we are then on the grid now and just waiting for the lights. Away we go, and it's a very tentative start then in these conditions. It looks like we haven't had the best start here then. Latifi is passing us here then on the outside. We're going to stay on the inside line though, see if there's a gap that appears. We dive past the two Williams and once again it doesn't look like Giovinazzi's in us there though, tinned in on us. I think we've got away without any damage though, as Latifi's going through then, and it looks like we have got away without damage then, and we have managed to stay where we started then in 19th position here. But yeah, bit of contact there with Giovinazzi, and now round this left-hander, and yeah, that opens us up quite nicely then for us to dive down the inside into the right-hander here, and it looks like we're all going to pass the Latifi, and we may well get Giovinazzi here as well then, but we weren't quite close enough there then to make that one stick, and we have to just tuck in here then behind the Alfa Romeo here then down the Mistral straight towards the chicane that's just like right in the middle of it here, but there may well be a chance then on the brakes, but no, we're not close enough to make the move here then, and we'll have to just tuck in behind for the time being. Our teammates had a very good start there, up to 15th, so I mean, it's been a positive start for both of us really. Then we've both made up places then from the start. Here is the replay of that start now then, and but we could just see there Lundgaard was already going on the attack there right from the off. He just had a very good start. I'm going to see here Giovinazzi moving across here, and yeah, we had a bit of contact there, but luckily nothing too bad. Here is the start then on board from our teammate, and it was just, yeah, a very good launch then, very confident, pulling away from the line here. He's side by side with Giovinazzi and Schumacher here, dives past both of them, and in fact Esteban Ocon there in the Alpine Renault, and yeah, he couldn't quite hang on to that position, but still a very impressive start from him there, up to 15th position, and yeah, ahead of both Alfa Romeos, although of course Raikkonen was further down the field now. Here's the on-board start then from George Russell. There is our teammate just in front of us, and we're going to see here then, we're going to dive at the inside, and I think maybe Giovinazzi didn't quite see us there, probably looking at the two Williams, and in all of that then Latifi managed to go through then and claim a couple of positions, so it was a good start for him as well, although we did at least manage to bump him back down a position here then into, I believe this is turn 5 or 6 here then, up the inside, and yep, through and up to 18th position. On to the end of the first lap now then, where we're on the attack of Giovinazzi, and I think he's certainly seen us this time then because he's going defensive towards turn 1, but yeah, we had to back out of that one then. We just weren't close enough to go for the overtake on that occasion, but our pace is looking quite good here. Obviously Giovinazzi isn't in, I guess, the clear air, or at least, you know, following some faster cars here, so that's maybe why we're able to stick with the Alfa Romeo here, because of course our teammates just at the road here probably causing a little bit of a train, although it is still looking quite close here then in the midfield, and we'll see then if we can get a good run here now then down this long back straight here, and we do seem to be a lot closer this time then. We're right in the slipstream, we're using our overtake. He's going defensive once again. We're going to go back to the racing line here and see if we can get it done then round the outside, and it looks like it's going to be very close, but I think we've done it then, and through we go into 17th, and yeah, this has already turned into a pretty good race for us as a team then. We're 15th and 17th at the moment, and yeah, we've got the two Alfa Romeos behind us then, and of course both Williams and Mick Schumacher is currently there in between us then, and hopefully Lundgaard can do us a bit of a favour then and back him into us a little bit then, and we can hopefully go for the overtake on him as well then, just as we did there with Giovinazzi to move us up there to 17th position. Here we are now then on lap 4, where, as I said, it's still Lundgaard then leading this pack, and it is a little bit of a train here then, because, you know, I certainly think we're probably about on par with the Haas pace, but yeah, we're certainly slower than the Alfa Romeos here, then they're behind us as well. But he's doing a good job here of keeping Schumacher right in our sight, so hopefully we can go on the attack of him quite soon into the first corner. And in fact, his engine has blown right in our face there. We're taking avoiding action here. We're very cautious there to not run into him, and we've lost a little bit of time there to Lundgaard, but still, that has Mick Schumacher out of the race and in spectacular fashion there with a complete engine blowout, it looks, by the looks of things, and it nearly caught us out there, but thankfully not, and well, that is good news for us then, because that is our rival out of this race then very early on here. And here is the replay, and well, it doesn't look anywhere near as spectacular as it did from on board there, as we were just met with a face full of smoke there really. But yeah, for Mick Schumacher then, he was running very well there once again in the Haas, but that is his race over then, from 16th position, and no safety car there. A bit of a surprise in these conditions, but nonetheless then we carry on, and we are back now then on the back of our teammate Lundgaard here then, as we approach the end of lap 7, and I think we're getting close now to the point where we'll be going for an overtake here. I think we need to try and get it done sooner rather than later, because Giovinazzi is still right there. We've managed to put out a gap though to the two Williams and Mazepin and Raikkonen, who are still back there, but yeah, so that's quite encouraging for us then, because we're in a very good position here then, 15th and 16th, and Lundgaard's gone defensive end towards turn 3 here, and well, we're just going to go around the outside here. I was going to wait until we got to the back straight there, but he went offline there and really compromised himself, and yeah, I just swept around the outside then on the what I guess is kind of the racing line there, and then we got the inside line for the left-hander, and yeah, 3 we went then, and yeah, it's looking very good indeed for us then at the moment. But we are now getting a radio message as well then, because the track is drying out quite a bit, and it does look like we're now at the point where we're going over to dry tyres. The track still does look quite damp though, I think, so it does seem a little bit early, but DRS has been enabled, so I guess we are going to come in on this lap. We've lost the back end though at the chicane, and that's going to put Lundgaard right on the back of us here now then, round towards this fast right-hander, and well, it's going to be side by side between us then, and of course this could be crucial then, because you know we're probably going to both want to pit on this lap then, and whoever gets there first is going to, well, get the clean pit stop then and not have to wait behind the other, and we have just about done enough then to hold him off as we now come into the pits then, and it doesn't look like he's following us then. He's gone around again here. Giovinazzi's followed us in. We've got Vettel and Alonso up in front of us, and a bunch of other cars have come in as well. But yeah, our teammate's dead out there then. Is he going to regret that? Because well, it's certainly looking like the dry tyres are pretty good at this point then, because most people are going over to them now. As in we come then to change over to the soft tyres here. I mean, after like Baku and yeah, that race we were just so slow on the mediums, I guess it probably is a good call here to just be running soft tyres all the way through here. There's plenty of opportunities to overtake, and we can just continue pushing until presumably another rain shower comes later on in the race here. So we'll have to wait and see how exactly that one plays out. But here's a replay then of our battle then with our teammate. This is 5 races out of 5 now where we've had a battle then with Lundgaard. Every single race so far for this brand new team, we have had both the cars battling then, and yeah, side by side in one of the fastest points to the track there, just kicking up little bits of water then as the track is very much drying out here. And yeah, I think we're definitely at the point now where it's going to be slick tyres, because yeah, there's just very little puddles of water there being kicked up, and I think yeah, it's a bit of a mistake there for Russell and Lundgaard there to have stayed out. And so in fact of Stroll and Ocon, and in fact we've actually jumped Ocon here then because of how slow he was on that lap, and we're up now to 14th position. So for us this is looking quite good. Sadly for us as a team, Lundgaard has dropped down a few places now into about 19th I think by the look of things. So yeah, that's unfortunate for him, but for us we're in a very nice position at this point then, up in 14th position here. That'll be a very handy result, but I don't think we're going to hold on to it, because Ocon's here then in what I guess is the works Renault car, although of course they're now Alpine, and around the outside he goes there then up to 14th, but we'll see if we can stick with him here then, because it could be a benefit to us then to try and climb onto the back of him here then with the DRS, and that is what we're going to do here then. I don't think we're going to be really close enough to go for the move here, and to be honest I don't think it's really a good idea for us to go for the overtake. I think if we can just like keep getting close to him here then and using the DRS to close it to the back of him, then I think we've got a good chance here of turning this into a really good result, because he'll just be towing us along here then with the DRS and the slipstream down some of these long straights. That's exactly what we're doing then. We're just sticking right on the back of him here at the moment, and well, it seems to have worked so far then for this lap. We're still right on the back of him, and we're maintaining a good gap here to Giovinazzi. Skipping to lap 15, and this is still working it out for us then. He is starting to very slowly edge away from us, so we're not going to be able to do this the entirety of this stint, but still we're managing to just about do enough here then through the rest of the lap that we can stay within a second of him, get the DRS, close it to the back of him, and yeah, just yeah, we're basically driving at the Alpine's pace then because of this then, and it's really helping us here then against Giovinazzi. We're managing to actually extend the gap out a little bit to him then to 4 seconds now. We're over 11 seconds clear of Mazepin in 17th, so we're looking really good then. Well, today in terms of this fight for the well, for the back marker teams, and it took until lap 17 then for Ocon to actually finally break that DRS bubble there then, and yeah, now we're going to start dropping back a little bit then, but still that has really helped us there. We had about 5 or 6 laps right in the slipstream of Ocon there, getting DRS, getting slipstream, and that was really of a lot of benefit to us there. Let's get to lap 24 now then, where we're going to be pitting for our next stop, and if it is going to rain again in this race, then it's certainly not looking like it at the moment then. We've got clear skies here, as yep, Tsunoda and Stroll have pitted a lap earlier than us, and Lundgaard was also in a lap earlier than us on that occasion as well. Tsunoda then very easily overtakes us then with those fresh tyres, and but well, that's not any worry to us then, because we're going to be pitting at the end of this lap now anyway then. Ocon is now comfortably clear of us then, having managed to break that 1 second gap to us then. So it really just goes to show how much that was actually helping us then, because we were literally able to just drive at that pace then just via the DRS and slipstream there. So yeah, we certainly managed to make that one work for us quite well there then, and keep us ahead of Giovinazzi, but he has pitted earlier than us here, so there could be a chance that he does jump us, but he could also be pitting more times than us as well, so we'll have to wait and see then exactly how that plays out, but I think he is probably going to jump us here then in the pits. Raikkonen's in behind us as well then, he's still quite a way back then, he's really been stuck in that back marker fight then for all of this race so far, and indeed Giovinazzi then has gone through, and we'll see if there's anything we can do about that, but I think the Alfa Romeo pace might just be too strong here. And we've still got a 9-second gap to Raikkonen though by lap 33. The clouds have really started to come in very suddenly again, just as they did yesterday in qualifying. So I think we're just around the corner here from some rain, and in fact it has now started, so I think it won't be long then before we're back on the intermediate tyres, because the weather's just coming in so fast here. On to the next lap, and surely not, we're getting another radio message here then about potentially an issue. We had one in Spain when we were running well. This is the first time since then that we've been running well, so I was just thinking, please no, not again here, as it skips a few corners later, and I don't believe it. Another engine issue is going to force us into retirement here. As I said, we were running well in Spain and it happened. We've had a couple of races where we didn't really maximise our potential, and now we're finally doing well again, and we've had another issue. This has been a really disastrous start to our season then, as it's another retirement, and this one, well, it's looking like the brand new engine that we just put in yesterday has blown already, so that is an absolute disaster for us then. And yeah, well, there's just not anything else you can say about that really. We were running so well here, brand new engine, and it's just gone up in smoke. And yeah, that then is our French Grand Prix over.
We've witnessed some great battles around Paul Ricard today, and they've taken a fantastic win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
It's 2 in a row then for Valtteri Bottas. He takes another win then, and for the first time this season then we've got a double podium for the Red Bull Racing team, with Sergio Perez up in second ahead of Verstappen there. Hamilton then off the podium for the first time this season, but he does again get the fastest lap there then, so it's another very good result for him there. Ricciardo up ahead of the two Ferraris there then. Sainz couldn't turn that front row start into a good result, and Vettel and Gasly round out the points then. No points for any of the Renault powered cars then today here in France. And yet we were the two retirements then, me and Mick Schumacher in the standings. Bottas has closed now to 5 points behind Hamilton, so not looking as great as it was before then for him. Perez up to third as well then, ahead of Verstappen, so that's a bit of a surprise then. Perez in his first season for the team. Sainz moves ahead of Gasly with that result today. We stay down in 20th in the standings then, after failing to finish today then. We could have potentially moved up today, which is very sad for us then. And in the constructors, Mercedes still lead the way. And yet there's been no change then, we are still in 10th position.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. You had the pace, but your car couldn't quite keep up, could it? How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today? Well, thanks anyway.
The one thing that actually went right for us was that we at least lasted longer than Mick Schumacher did in this race, which was meant that we got a better finishing position and a better fastest lap. And yet, well, you can see Xbox has bought it there, then we've got a durability upgrade on the car the next time, because yeah, that's the department that we hadn't upgraded yet. But yeah, we still gained a lot of acclaim then. Obviously it wasn't our fault that we retired then, so that still works in our favour, I guess. And we got some nice money there then from our sponsor bonus then this weekend. But yeah, once again then, not making as much as we could have done due to various issues then over the weekend there. But still, we're not looking too bad then at the moment in terms of finances. Still quite a way to go then until we have to look at contract renewals, so we're still looking okay in terms of that. And that is it then. Well, this has been a very difficult start then to our season and for this series. I'm struggling to think of a time where we've had a career mode where, you know, the first run of races have been this bad. Then we've really struggled to, I think, get the potential in any of the races so far, but hopefully that will start to turn around next time then, where we've got the Austrian Grand Prix. Hope you're looking forward to that one. Hope you enjoy this one as well. If we did, really appreciate a like on the video, and I shall see you next time.